Weebill S by Zhiyun. So you're in the market for a gimbal for your DSLR or mirrorless camera. So you're going to the next level. Pretty scary. But this is probably your best bet for a small gimbal that can handle any of your DSLR mirrorless cameras with various lenses. So you're in the right spot. So stick around and let's see what this is all about. This guy over here is the Cranium 2. You have your Weebill S there too. It shows the size difference. Pretty big difference, but big difference in payload. So let's first go over what's in the box. Now I got the standard issue, meaning just the basic things that come with the original Weebill S. I didn't add any extras. I would love to have an extra to put on the phone on the side, maybe down the road. But let's get into what's in the box. This is the box it comes in. This is the case it provides. Now I wouldn't say this is much of a case. This is more like a packaging holder because this comes completely off. So don't expect this to be, you could use it, but you're not going to use this. Once you unbox it, you're never going to probably use it again. Unless you want to sell it and then you want to. All your devices come in this crazy contraption here. So it's going to be a little overwhelming when you first open it up. But let's go over each thing you get. Battery charger, micro USB. There's no actual plug where you can plug it into the wall. You actually have to get a micro USB, which it comes with, and then plug that USB into an outlet. But 2 separate batteries. This small little box you get inside here contains your cords. You have your regular micro USB-C and different adapters you can put on your cameras. Now, one thing to add, special note, is I have the Sony a7 III, and this is I had a lot of trouble getting connected. The reason being, I guess I was using the wrong cord. So there's a cord that looks just micro USB to micro USB, but one is a little bit longer. This has a longer end, which goes into the camera. This is the one that worked for my Sony a7 III. Comes with a riser plate. This is a plate that you would use in case your lens is fatter than your camera, meaning like your lens here is big and thick, so it doesn't level off with the bottom of the camera. You can raise up your camera. The little small nuts in here to mount the camera to the plate, and that's in the box. Next up is the mounting plate. I already have it attached to my camera, so I didn't want to undo it. But it's the mounting plate back here. This nut is again from that little small black box. It's got the lens holder or the lens balancer, whatever you want to call it. Basically pushes flush against your lens and tighten it here. I have that matched up to the back part here flat. Mounting plate. All right, your fast connection plate. This will go to the actual gimbal. Okay, let's go ahead and mount this thing. This is your mounting plate that goes on your gimbal to your camera. 2 little holes right here, 2 holes right here matching. How to ease that on. And I push this button in and it mounts in. Now we can mount it to the gimbal. Okay, for the balancing act, I am going to let the other video on the side keep running, showing you how they mount it with a little more description and better camera views as I do it myself, and we'll see how this goes. But the first thing you gotta do is get it like this. When it first sets up, it's all nice and flat. You wanna open it up and allow it to accept the camera. So you have to basically open up the axis and then lock them all off so we're not moving here. An easy platform to work off of. All right, so we take our plate here, it's already on the camera, and we're gonna slide this baby right on. Go, and hear the little click, it kind of locks in. And at this point, I'm gonna guess it probably needs to come back a little bit for our balancing act, but we will lock it down. So to lock the plate here from the side, we do this one right here, and that will lock your camera in. Okay, so our camera's on, it's leaning back on me, so I need to adjust back and forth. There we go, that's balanced. And let's look at straight up and down. That's actually pretty good there. If you need to adjust it, it'd be right here. It can stay, it can stay. This is your plate here, and it slides back and forth on this part of the gimbal. course, you put this side, it'll lean, that side, it'll lean. Right now, it's doing a pretty good job keeping it steady. Once we're happy there, and we're happy here, we need to be happy with all directions. So let's go ahead and unlock everything. This is unlocked, that's unlocked, so it's free flowing. And if it stays like that, you're getting good to go. So everyone has different ways to balance this gimbal, and as you're watching right now, you're watching the expert do it in his tutorial. I would follow that to a T, but what makes this easier is the ability to lock off each axis and get that squared away before you move on to the next one. One thing that's a little bit difficult on the Crane M, there's only one lock, and that's basically for transport, and you have to finagle the back and forth of the camera on the plate. I think it's a little more difficult to balance the Crane M2, which is a smaller gimbal, versus balancing this one. So that's good on the Weebill S. Okay, let's talk about the control setup right here. You have your display showing what mode you're in, pan follow right here. The little the little camera icon shows that your camera is connected. You have your battery, and we'll go through our lock. Now, if you don't know what all these mean, you can watch a whole different video on what these modes mean. But you have your lock, pan follow, pull the trigger for the follow, POV mode right there, double click it, go to vortex mode, double click it again, pull the trigger, go back to pan follow, double tap the trigger, the camera will go from vertical back to normal. Hit the button to go through the menu. You have motor. Now to change this on here, you need to rotate the dial. To set up the camera, so you go in here, hit enter. Hit always to the right, which is like enter. Choose your camera, and then turn it on. It'll connect and show you're good to go. Down to back to the main menu. Motor, this is where you can go into and fine tune. Go to auto, it'll auto tune the gimbal, it'll give it a little shake, and it'll calibrate the gimbal automatically after you set it up. If you messed up a little bit on your balancing and it needs to adjust for that, it'll do that. And then you have all your custom settings where you can go in to adjust your gimbal, the way it pan follows, how fast it does, the dead space, when you pan left or right, how fast does it catch back up. That's when you get into fine tuning your gimbal. So if I hit left or right on the wheel, it will go into the zoom. Right zooms in, left zooms out. So as you're using the gimbal, you could zoom in and zoom out as you walk to give a different effect, and that's pretty cool. And then to refocus, hit the center button, and it will refocus. So this is at sync mode. Do you like the sync mode, Mr. Sony? Yes, you do. I'm not sure. It would take a lot of talent to get this to work exactly. Using the access of the camera to adjust. Whoa. See, it's a little crazy. I don't think I would hurt it, but it is very cool to show your friends. This little dial controls the gimbal itself, so I could slow pan. I think you have more control when you do it this way. So if you had it set up maybe on a tripod and you were trying to film, that way you can control the camera from a distance. You got your shutter button, take a picture, you got your record button. The only part that I can't get right now is actually, leave it in the comments below if you know how to do this, but how do I get the actual screenshot of what's on my screen? This is what I'm getting. All right, final thoughts, Amazon shoppers for the Weebill S. If you're in the market, obviously, for a gimbal for your bigger camera, I don't know what else is out there that is as small and compact as this. The best feature, again, is to take this tripod and stick it on here and then use it just like that on the picture to get low shots. That is what is awesome about this gimbal and the compactness of this gimbal. I don't like to have a big setup. The smaller setup, the better for me. There's a lot more stuff, a lot more things you can do with this whole set. You can add attachments here. You can add the video thing, the video feed back into another device. You can add the focus adapter where you can control the focus with this dial here. So this setup is the bare minimum, just getting started. You can only grow with that. So good luck on your shopping. And if you're interested, go ahead and purchase. I don't think you're going to go wrong. And the worst case scenario is that after a couple of months you don't want to use it anymore, you'll sell it for a good price on eBay. So good luck, shoppers. Alright guys, welcome to this setup. What do you think of this? Got the ND rocking in front of the Sony. Is it tracking me? Are you tracking me? This is a big boy, but should have the best results for video. This is the Zhiyun Weebill S that can support the big cameras, the big lenses, the big Sonys, the big Nikons, the Canons, all those. So what do you think? Is this cinematic? Is this tracking me cinematic wise? Hand follow. It looks big. How's this guy doing? Tracking me. Well, more about how the look. How does the look? Go back to the Sony again. This is the Crane M2 with the Sony Mark 7, RX 100 Mark 7. How does that look? A lot easier contraption to walk around with. It's got the ND filter also on. Back up here we get some sun action. How does that look? Should be at 2.8 because I got it zoomed all the way out.